Greetings, people, hello, and welcome to Congratulations, You're a Dick, episode 11. We're approaching the teenage numbers of this series, so it's time for some mostly aesthetic changes. You may or may not pick them up as I fail at doing commentary. Whatever the case, this is still the series where I compile dicks, arseholes, and all manner of disreputable people, and I present them to you for your betterment or enjoyment. Today we're gonna start off with quickfire replays before I turn around and whack you in the face with something that's so heinous, so profoundly terrible that it will demand a response from you. Well, at least those of you who have a moral code the north side of the cretins featured. Ladies and gentlemen, today I offer up my competition. I believe I may have found someone worse than Schrader in the lava. Now, still to come, but first, here's a joke to tide you over. I bought a premium tank for only £8, right? I thought, damn, that was only a 4 double. Oh, screw you guys, do the fucking intro. Righto, quickfire time! Equip your mimetic shields and your stench filtration masks now, and let's dive in. This is a prime example of the pot calling the kettle black. Psst! Hey, you're black.
Well, if that's how you feel, you can boil your own damn water, you bitch-ass, punk-ass, lame-ass, hypocritical-ass.
So, game begins and the countdown time is still echoing, ringing in your ears like a siren. No back... you know what, I'm just gonna call him Martha.
Why did you say that name?
Fuck off! Okay, you know what, I'm gonna call him Girthy 1-inch. Girthy weighs anchor and makes haste with a western wind up to A1, where he remains, whilst he begins berating the team mercilessly for such things as not getting to the hill in time, and not knowing shit about the game, as well as being gay fags. In fact... Oh no! It's broken through, it's coming! Ah! Petty, racist rants of an internet troll! No! A guy who thinks anonymity excuses hate! Really? A guy who thinks freedom of speech means freedom of consequence! Oh, it would be so terrible if everyone could suddenly see what a giant cock you are! Ah! Next, we expectantly join Clask after who plays the south side of terribly this game. Although, you know, tier 8 game, tier 6 tank may excuse defensively oriented gameplay. I doubt, however, it can absolve a complete camp of the hill. I could have done better. Alright, but then again, when it comes to other tanks, I do have a certain prowess. Unfortunately, I also have to plow less according to this restraining order. That said, both mine and your opinions on this gameplay are about as irrelevant as aiming to a KV2, so what's the new issue here? Well, this fine gent, Spiddy1206. He suddenly decides that all the inequities of life and the root of his team's unfolding failure are entirely the result of the tier 6 medium tank. And subsequently, he spends the entire remainder of the game gallivanting merrily after him like a chicken chasing a shoelace. Now, he does go blue, meaning after can happily bludgeon his butt with no fear of repercussions on the game. And as the STRV is one of the most situationally inept tanks in the game for trying to chase down a Cromwell, he gets his ass comprehensively kicked. Now, if like me you're expecting bouts of futile and hilarious rage to be vomited into chat with the grace of a water-skiing gazelle, you, like me, may find yourself disappointed, as it takes a whole minute and a half for the slimy, rage-filled slop to eventually show up. A delay that I can only attribute to this happening. Oh, dang it, I can't believe that happened. You know, if only I was Superman, then no one could stand in my way. You know what? Damn it, if I want to be Superman, then I am Superman! But I can't leap tall buildings or fly. But maybe I can leap this fence. Yeah, you gotta start small. I'm coming, Lois! Oh wait, no. Oh, he was f***ing my mother. Oh, I see. For 1.5 minutes. Damn, dude. On another note, I did actually ask my mother whether she had had sexual intercourse with you, and she didn't seem to recall. Later on, I even checked with my brother, and as it turns out, it was him in a wig. So, I'm gonna be an uncle! Speaking of my brother, God, my pussy is hairy. What? Look how goddamn hairy. Speaking of my brother, Andy, this is him. Languishing in the SP1C, which is better than I say it is, but it has merited my eternal hatred as it took my awful panther from me, so yeah. In any case, he spies an opportunity toward the north where his team is mounting an assault on a rather unfortunate 416. And as said 416 is reduced to a negotiable amount of health, and he pushes forward with a rousing round of hit point haggling. He fairly easily takes him down, and as a reward, fairly promptly finds a 155mm shell swiftly lodged somewhere between his observation device and the commander's kidneys. Now it's evident, right, in hindsight, that 416 was actually the T-30's kill. Right, so, you know, sorry, we didn't know. You guys might not know as well, I've been working on talent card reading. You know, reading cards and finding out about someone. And I think, yeah, I can sense the T-30 watching. T-30, listen to me. Okay, this could be an enlightening experience for all of us. Alright, look into my eyes, and clear your mind. Take a deep breath in, and out. Okay, now look at these cards. Picture these cards as you, your personality, your essence. Everything that you are is in these cards. 1, 2, or 3. Alright? Do you understand? Pick one. 1, 2, or 3. Now we'll feel it here. Yes, number 3. Okay, you're a dickhead. So, this next one's the story of a poor top-tier bulldog afflicted with a severe case of egregious pessimism. Not 30 seconds into the game, he's to be found, declaring the game a loss, no doubt prompted by the ghost town, which is the eastern seafront. Funnily enough, however, that is expressible without the senseless profanity and blame that turns you so brazenly from observant, concerned teammate to judgmental, obnoxious arsehole. Needless to say, an offer at the mark from the IS-6 for a spot of bull licking doesn't exactly go down well with him. And he apparently he seems to have some supernatural gift to equate bull having to stats. Wait. Maybe that's not a gift at all. Maybe that's just observation. Okay, I've done the math, and it checks out. It's true. I play well because I have a penis. It all makes sense. That's why Simpson occasionally just YOLOs and dies randomly. That's why Peabody is... But if playing well means a penis, I gotta start a new account. Okay, 00wallst is born. Time to play a few games.
A few moments later.
Okay, so what's my WNA? 75? That's awful. It worked! I'm a woman! God. This is amazing. I can understand a whole new perspective. I can see how society differs in treatment of men and women. I can answer so many questions. I can finally...
One eternity later.
Honk honk! Now, even with the significant social limitations gifted to me by my autism, I'm well aware that someone out there is probably going to have been offended by that last sketch for some reason, because it's 2018. I hope not, but I will state for the obvious for the record that I do not share the views of the jackass in the Bulldog. However, will I use the utter absurdity of his words to make a sketch? Hell yes, I will. And besides, if you want to be offended by something, then step right up, because we got a hell of a game on our hands here. Oh yes, E50, step right up, fine sir, what you got for us? 2 for profanity, 1 for flagrant pessimism, autistic well, how absolutely spiffing. I like the implication. Autistic people are terrible players. Also, left? Left is west, mate, not east. You dumbass. Let's face it though, it's to be expected. People like this, generally speaking, aren't found to be exceptional players. I'm saying the stuffy nose couldn't fill a stuffy nose. Now, I don't know whether this guy's just got the chip on his shoulder. Alright. It's not bad. It's not really the point. This guy might be able to compete at some village arsehole or local dumbass competition, but he's not in the same league as our target here. He lingers orders of magnitude below his offensively large excrement. Now observe, if you will, the status of the east flank. Well, our friend in the E50 has been attacking from the low ground, because, you know, adding incompetent tactical play to being an arsehole is like adding a light seasoning. He brings out the flavour. Query: does something seem off to you about that flank? Something out of place as the 5100 charges amiably forward to assist? The defender? Yeah, I thought that too. I mean, let's face it, the terrain over there is more uneven than my self-esteem, so the defender can't really be contributing that much from back there. So whether by direct or indirect result of the defender's inaction, the E50 explodes in both game and in chat. Now, what you're about to see is classified as a Class 2 memetic hazard. As such, you have all been provided with a cyanide pill to reduce the spread of infection. Should you feel you have been compromised by the material, you can administer the pill by placing it on your tongue and swallowing with a glass of water. You are then safe to... So, Sage McCrackton-Pants is pulling a Duke William and retreating post-haste. And before too long he dwells at the map border having a disagreement with a bush. Now, there's some suspicions arising in chat that he may be a bot, and to be frank, that would be wonderful. But on the other hand, if a bot as malicious and selfish as this guy did exist, we'd all be serving our machine overlords by now. No, this is simply a special kind of arsehole. Just look at this. What can I say? What can I say? At this point they're actually winning. His team are winning. His team were winning. Blame one of the tanks for letting me play. I hope to sort that out. I was just going to blame your parents for letting you live. Either one, I think we're going to use asinine. Now, Mr. Jedi, aging Jedi, I know you're out there, man. I know you watch these videos. I know you love them. Thank you very much for it, sir. I'm sure your opinion, right, is roughly in line with mine when I say that this shit has no place in this game. This kind of blatant, profane, toxic and malicious attitude has got to go. I want this guy banned. I want him gone. He has, get this, 22 tier 8 premiums. 22. And you can see him boasting here. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about the consequences. Well, I wonder if that's true. 22 tanks? That's a lot of money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Unless you're wargaming, in which case it grows on one tree in particular. In any case, I really like to see wargaming make an example of these types of players. Wargaming isn't really what you want. People buying your products and going around spreading toxicity and hate with them. Boasting that they don't care. Breaking the game rules by deliberately losing games. And some people might say, this isn't against the game rules. Because some players just play defensively. And I'm like, well, yeah. Except this jackass basically admits it. His team are all telling him to go and contribute, and he's just sat there yelling about how the game is rigged, like he hates it. And he sits there while the base is capped not 10 meters from a position to defend the base against a tank that can't even penetrate him because balance. This shit has got to go. Well, now that that's all out of the way, let's take a look at something far, far worse. So much worse, in fact, it prompted a spout of detective work on my part. So much worse that poor Mr. JJ007, who sent this replay in, probably did not realise just how truly appalling it is. Ladies and gentlemen, do we all remember Schrader? In the lava. Oh god, that's good times. Good times. Now, my candidate here doesn't take a boat up shit creek and use his tongue as a paddle as elegantly as Schrader, nor will he be crowned the prince of tank memes. But let that not pollute your interpretation of this arsemunch. Now, you may have noticed I blocked out the statistics of the whole number 1 platoon, consisting of the 112, the Super Pershing, and the Jagdtiger 88. And we're going to look at them together right now. So first up, Super Pershing. He has 1,453 WNA. Pretty good, yeah? 0k games, so clearly not his first account. And here's the kicker. 41% wins. 41. That is abysmally bad. That is almost out of the realms of plausibility for just getting unlucky. You know? It is absolutely atrocious. So, let's move on, shall we? The Jagdtiger. 444 WNA. Pretty damn bad. 1k games. 32% wins. 32! Just the 112. I've saved him for last. Why? You'll see. Can we have a drum roll, please? 287 WN. Awful. Awful. 0k games. 17% wins. 17. Maybe some people are going to sit there and say, he's a beginner. He's not played enough games. No. This man has played 238 games in the 112. 238! Do you know what his win rate is in this preferential matchmaking premium tank? I'll tell you, over 238 games, this man has won 15.97% of them. I'm just gonna put that in perspective for you. You could AFK. You could choose not to participate in any game you ever played in World of Tanks, and you would not fall below 40% wins. It would not happen. There's not enough time in the observable universe for the possibility of you getting that unlucky to happen. You would not fall below 40% wins just by not contributing, right? In fact, the only way to achieve a win rate this abysmally low is you have to be actively screwing over your team every single game. It takes commitment to being an arsehole the likes of myths and legends. You do not get that win rate by mistake or bad luck. We know this. So, shall we take a look at what this platoon of cockstands spends their games doing? Well, to start off, the Super Pershing makes a statement dripping with so much irony one could drown in it. Yeah, because your platoon mates are feckin' clones of Erwin Rommel, aren't they, mate? From this point on, I'm not even going to acknowledge the toxicity of these guys in chat unless it becomes utterly intolerable, alright? The Tiger 88 starts off his merely objectionable day by blocking the tier 8 heavy tank so he's unable to leave base. The Super Pershing spends the first couple of minutes of the game blocking the friendly arty's gun, pretending to leave, then coming back and getting the arty killed. All while trying to convince the rest of the team in chat that they're completely innocent little angels. And then there's this arsehole who spends his game blocking, ramming, doing his absolute utmost to get these E25s killed, while screaming that he's got 999 ping. No, you don't. You're just an arsehole. And worse, you're an arsehole who won't even admit that he's an arsehole. God, it would be unfortunate if anyone could see what you're doing right now, wouldn't it? That'd be tragic. I'll remind you, 15.97. This is why. This is not an isolated incident. It cannot be. These raging goat suckers do this every single game. It is how they get their kicks. And later, this 112 seems to have sorted out his 999 ping problem as he drives perfectly to link back up with the Super Pershing, and they proceed to push the Challenger off the cliff before trying to do the same thing to the A44. And notice, they are not shooting, right? This isn't their first rodeo. They do this every single game. They are not dumb enough to get banned. They will do this again and again and again until someone steps in and deals with it. The A44, bless his heart, has actually quit the battle rather than endure the shit that he was getting from these guys. The 112, perfect little angel, attempts to relocate, but instead ends up flipping his tank like a well-oiled, ill-tempered pancake. And as a result, he's subsequently violated in the ass by an Emil. That's while the Jagdtiger is asking the A44 to help him. You got some nerve, princess, you know that? The 112 sets about lamenting his death and begins blaming the physics engine. Me and him are on the same page here. It's page 512, where it says, "Congratulations, you're now a dickhead." Eventually, a report request from the friendly VK breaks the dam and releases the tide of prepubescent toxic slander directed for the most part at the VK's mother. That was the worst thing I've ever shown on my channel. I'm used to team killing. ranting in chat, pushing, shoving, flipping, the equivalent of toddler tantrums. This was different. This was so malicious. This was occurring game after game after game. It is statistically impossible for that not to be the case. Now, I thought long and hard, giggity, about this game, and it occurred to me that these guys, right, they must struggle to confine that much dickish behaviour simply to other tanks. And so, I began my search. Like a bloodhound chasing a convict, I searched high and low. I visited all the replay sites I know, looking to see if any of these guys have uploaded a replay, a perceived transgression, a comparably skillful game. No joy. I then plowed the forums. I figured with a name like Milking the Forums, this guy at least must have some presence on there. Nothing. But then I found a post by Johnny Blood, the Tiger 88, in a forum allowing people to show what they look like. So yes, from a publicly available forum, here is our mate in the Yak Tiger. Or, in this case, Matess. Yep, it's a chick. Apparently this is last summer on vacation. Damn, she's pretty damn good looking, huh? But something about this didn't sit right with me, right? Call it intuition from years of being on dating sites and cooking many a catfish over the fires of my penis. I took this photo and I ran it back through a reverse image search. You know what I found out? This is actually a picture of Sue Lightning and Natalie Mars, who are, it seems, some kind of she-male porn stars. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Now, you'll forgive me, but I don't think these women spend a lot of their time being arseholes on water tanks. I mean, can you really picture this? Oh, I finally got the taste of that giant out of my mouth. Oh, well, at least I'm alone now. Oh, I'm so very tired of this charade. Oh, I can finally be myself. Oh, water tanks, my Yak Tiger 88. Oh, how I long for the thrill of battle. The cold, unforgiving wilderness of twisted metal. Oh, how I hunger to be an arsehole to random people. Yeah, I can't see that happening somehow. I think what's more likely I still have tits. I think what's more likely to have happened is that Johnny Blood lied. And he's not in fact a she-male porn star, but a somewhat sad man who desires the feelings of importance that he gets when people think that he's a good-looking girl. I do say though, lying about your identity online, I'm not saying that has occurred here, I have no idea, it could well be true. Lying about your identity, however, that's against the law, isn't it? I, for one, I'd personally like to see Wargaming step in and take action against people who misrepresent themselves online in such a way, because such a thing is a crime against me and my dick. Now, the funny thing is, if Johnny Blood is actually Sue or Natalie, then I am in the shit. But hey, if you genuinely are being truthful about who you are, then contact me. Because, you know, there's a difference between petty, immature water tank's arsehole and petty, immature, she-male porn star water tank's arsehole, and I'd hate to be mistaken between the two of them. Ladies and gentlemen, the last two replays I've shown are linked in the description. I encourage you, if you feel strongly about getting this kind of thing out of water tanks, then take them, submit them in a ticket to Wargaming. Just increase the chance of Wargaming taking a look at it and dealing with these people. If you want to message them or harass them, then please go on, because it's not going to help. Don't contact or harass any of these people in any way. Just go from the official channels, and let's hope that Wargaming can deal with it. And we'll all do our part at the same time to make water tanks a better and less toxic community. for the enjoyment of everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and until episode 12, farewell.